And we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. I am Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
And we have Travis Burke in the house today, man. He's running for D'Iberville City Council, Ward 4, and I believe this gentleman's in a runoff now. We're going to talk to him today about why he threw his hat in the ring, why he wants to run for D'Iberville City Council. But before we do that, we're going to thank our sponsors right out of the gate, the people that keep the lights on, as Joey puts it. Our first one, been with us the longest, been with us for, almost day one, not quite, but close to damn enough. That's the Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. That's him and all of his staff. They're located in Ocean Springs on Washington Avenue. If you're looking for a great local dentist who likes to talk all things outdoors, talk bourbon, talk Ole Miss football, unfortunately, go hit them up. They're on all the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles. Hit them up on their website at southernmagnoliasmiles.com or give them a call on the landline at 228-215-1202. He's just a great dude, man. You'll thoroughly enjoy it if you're, like I say, you're looking for a good local dentist. And our other sponsor that came on with us this month, it's Jesse Hill with Hilltree Marketing. If you're a small business owner or you for your personal needs, you need a website or graphic design. He does social media management, IT services, videography, photography, and aerial cinematography, which is a fancy word for he has a drone and does super cool drone shots. You can go check those shots out at his website at www.hilltreemarketing.com. We're going to have him on as a guest in the near future for the show. So we're super excited about that, and we're glad to have him as a sponsor. So, but like we mentioned, we got Travis in the studio today, actually, on a Sunday. What's up, man?
Hey, I'm here. I'm up.
So tell us a little bit about, what your background and why you decided to jump into city politics, man.
So my background is in law. I also have insurance business, and I think getting involved with the politics. I mean, I live here, and so I just want to see the best for my community. And I feel like putting myself out there and using my education, using my experience, I'm able to help D'Iberville and help the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I think growing up and seeing other people that you grow up with, they inspire you whenever you see them doing other things. Angel Myers is the prosecutor over in Jackson County. Wayne Rodolphich was the coach for us, at St. Martin, and he's like done so much for Pascagoula. Yep. And you see these people and you see them doing things, and it inspires you to want to be able to use your talents to help out. So that's why I'm here, guys.
Hell yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Let's talk about your background. After high school, go to college, right? Let's start there, man. Where was that? Maybe one of the flyers you had we posted earlier.
Got one right here.
Yeah, it's business. You started with your bachelor's in business. Is that correct?
So yes. Bachelor's in business administration, and just full disclosure for all the D'Iberville Warriors out there, I did graduate from St. Martin. Stingham.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know if we were going to bring that up or not.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. That's why I said post high school. We'll start there.
But I've lived in D'Iberville. I bought my first house in D'Iberville, 20 years ago. And I think it creates a good atmosphere being able to play along with that.
Right.
So William Carey after high school, bachelor's degree in business administration and marketing, went on to Loyola College of Law, in New Orleans, where I have a Juris Doctorate, and I am a practicing attorney. And that's
not no easy feat.
Yeah.
That's not just easy to slide into, right? Loyola is a competitive school.
Yeah. So the reason I went the law school route, because I was going to get a master's degree in business.
Okay.
And before you can get your master's degree, you have to take a GMAT test. All right. And it, gauges how well are you to go into
we had to take the GRE
program.
kind of thing.
All right. Yeah. And so I take this test, and it is all mathematics, no calculator.
Right.
If you get one right, the question gets harder. It's algebra, it's geometry, it's trigonometry. And I'm just like, I don't think this is for me. So I decided to go to law school. And whenever I was in first grade at St. Martin, I was in the gifted program. And one of my teachers told me, she said I would be a great attorney one day. And that kind of always stuck with me. And I had the family support where, they told me, hey, if you go to law school, we'll help you out. We'll make sure that the
'cause
family's
that ain't
taken
cheap
care
for
of.
sure.
It ain't cheap, and it's not just that. Like going to law school, I commuted back and forth. I bought me a Prius, and drove back and forth. But I've got a 20-year-old son, so he was 10 less than 10 at the time. So I had a family to take care of at the same time. I was running an insurance business. So I had that support within my family that said, we'll help you with the child. I had the support at the business to where I was able to go. And it's like if you have an opportunity to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything that you're passionate about, and it kind of just by grace, happens, you take it.
Absolutely.
You jump on it and take it. So I did it, and I think I surprised a lot of people. Like, a lot of people that know me whenever I was young.
Yeah.
I tell them I'm an attorney now, and they're like, whoa.
Well, you kind of nailed it, because I guess like in kindergarten, where your 3 jobs are doctor, lawyer, astronaut, and you got one of them right out the bat. You killed it.
I think a lot of people would like to send me to Mars. Okay.
Yeah. No, but I like the saying, the harder you work, sometimes the more lucky you get, right? It wasn't an accident you got accepted to law school, right? You put in a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and then you had to get through it, right? Because that's not easy in and of itself.
Yeah. It's a lot of reading, and I'm from Mississippi, so reading is kind of, But I did it, and I on Sundays I would be watching football games and reading law school books. So
that was me.
You got to make time. You got to make time.
Sorry about that. That was me.
Yeah.
No, you got to dig in, make the time, like Joey said, and just put in the work. But I think that translates for later in life too, right? And that's where we're here now. Is like you're running for city council, and you have a track record that you want to. We talked about it. That's what you want to focus on, is the work that you're willing to put in, right? And I don't think that's going to stop when it comes to City of D'Iberville.
100%. I've been working hard campaigning since November, and there's been days where I've been campaigning so much, and I'm just like, oh man, I gotta get back out there and keep pounding the pavement. And I'm definitely. And right now with the runoff, it's a 3-week time frame, so it's a lot of hard work and energy and time compressed into that 3 weeks. So if it's sunny outside right now, I got to be on the street, man.
Well, you're on the digital streets here on the Brownwater audience in front of these people.
The regular election was the 6th, right?
April 6th.
April 6th, yeah. And then you and Mr. Jailbirding didn't have 50% of the vote, so now it goes to a runoff, right? And
That's
that new runoff date is
April 27th.
April 27th.
So that's important. Everybody out there, April 27th, that is the date for the runoffs all across South Mississippi. So you've got Ocean Springs, D'Iberville, but definitely would like you guys to get out and vote, and especially in D'Iberville, but across the coast. Voter turnout was really low April 6th, and I think a lot of it had to do with you got Easter Sunday,
right.
You got spring break holidays, and in my race, for instance, like if you drive through Ward 4, I had signs everywhere, okay, in people's yards, and I had a big presence, and I think some people just thought, hey, he's going to win.
Right.
He's look at all this, he's going to win.
Right.
And people didn't get out and vote. And there's many other opportunities to vote. So you have absentee voting, City of D'Iberville and all the other municipalities by law, they have to have 2 Saturdays before the election where you can go and vote absentee. And that's done from 8 a.m. until noon at City Hall. So that's an opportunity. If you work Monday through Friday, you can go vote Saturday morning, and I just encourage everybody to get out there and vote, because it really does come down to, this was
few votes. Yeah.
Every vote really does count.
It's weird that they did that on spring break, because it's the whole high school was on spring break. It's usually when people do vacations, you know what I'm saying? It's weird that they put that date.
But you do have the opportunity to do it before,
right?
I think people just kind of don't think about it sometimes. But the local elections directly affects you. If you have a problem with drainage, if you have a problem with people speeding, if you have any problems that you want addressed, it goes through your local city council. So that people should be more involved in wanting to get out there and vote for these elections. You have the presidential election, 1,500 people voted in my ward. Okay.
Yeah.
April 6th, 240 people voted.
That's weird.
Yeah. We talked with Carrie and Zach. They said the same thing. And that doesn't really come as a surprise to me. I mean, the presidential election is like kind of like the Super Bowl of elections. But like you said, the municipalities is what directly affects your life. It should be the other way around.
Right. So here's the thing. Donald Trump didn't come knock on my door.
Right.
President Biden didn't come knock on my door.
You dang sure can't pick up a phone and call him.
I'm knocking on your door, more than one time. Usually.
What that's a good question I was going to ask is what have you been doing as far as the campaigning? Is it like you said, on the streets, knocking on doors and meeting people? So
a lot of I've walked the Ward 4, which is mainly Forest Cove. It's the neighborhood behind the Boys and Girls Club, which is Laurelwood. Then you have the neighborhoods over there by the elementary school and Brody Road, and you've got a little bit of rolling hills that are part of the ward. I've walked the ward 4 times, since November, and I don't get to talk to everybody because people ain't home sometimes, So, but I come back, and the main focus right now is focusing on the people that voted in the April 6th election and those people that I know voted for me, making sure that they come back out and vote. So I'm knocking on their door. I'm writing them letters.
Yeah.
We got Facebook ads going. They're going to get a text message. People got to be tired of seeing me.
Yeah. But they recognize that name. The more you pound it in their head, the more they remember it. And both of y'all ran as
Republicans. There's very few Democrats in the state of Mississippi. Everybody pretty much runs as a Republican.
I think there's one that's an independent that's in the
you got
general election.
Crystal Wingo is an independent,
right?
And then you got y'all know Quentin Lyles.
Quentin Lyles is a Democrat.
He's running as a Democrat, and I talk to those guys, because I want to work with everybody. It's not just because you're a Democrat or you're an independent or you're a Republican. What I want to work for is the betterment of D'Iberville as a whole.
Right.
And I've been living here 20 plus years. I've walked my kids to school, from my house to the elementary school. So I'm familiar with a lot of the problems. I've coached sports here in D'Iberville, and I'm familiar with the problems they have. I mean, look at St. Martin. Right here on Lemoyne, you see the beautiful soccer fields they got.
Right. Yep.
That could have been in D'Iberville. The guy that did all of that, Bishop Chastain, he was with D'Iberville working for our soccer team, and he wanted D'Iberville to put money into the soccer fields and to grow that, and they shot him down. Yeah. And what happened is it went to St. Martin, and it's beautiful out there.
Yeah, it is.
But then now. D'Iberville, we have the Rusty Quave soccer field, but I'm going to tell you, I've coached out there. All right. You go out there on any given day and there's goose droppings all over the field. We did the Easter egg hunt the other day and there was goose droppings all over the field. And look, goose poop ain't healthy.
It's a shitty situation.
I don't want to use any bad word. I don't want to turn any of my voters off. And it's Sunday.
I hear you.
But no, Jared, get it together.
Sorry.
But there's an easy solution to it though. And I just don't understand. We're going to have our kids go out there. I remember playing sports whenever I was young, and I never remember getting tackled and having goose poop in my face. So I don't understand. You go out there and it's just filled.
Is that just a maintenance issue though? I mean, what is that? How do you fix that?
How do you fix it? There's a deterrent that you can put out on the field that's FDA approved, that is not harmful to humans, or from what they say, it's not harmful to humans or animals or anything like that. And you put it around the fields. It costs, I think the treatment's about $10,000, but they spent millions of dollars on the field. You can't spend millions of dollars on something and then just let it, kind of.
We got the same problem with the baseball field and stuff like that. They use coyote decoys.
They use decoys. They have it. But to me, it's like, this is something that can be solved, and it's not. And I want to get out there and I want to help D'Iberville solve some of these problems. I mean, I've been in D'Iberville, like I said, 20 years. Drainage is a huge issue in our ward and in D'Iberville as a whole. And man, I've seen very little done over the amount of time. Like I walk my kids to school, and right across from the elementary school on Brody Road, there's a drainage issue where the drain is up here. Okay.
And the water's down
and
here.
the water is down here. And it's like, hey guys, I
didn't major in physics.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking something's wrong.
Yeah.
And we had Bishop in the comments actually said, "Amen, brother," to your comments on the soccer field. So he's watching.
Bishop's a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another inspiration to me, to see him do what he's done with the athletics. And I mean, that really inspires me. I grew up in Cedar Grove. Yep. They were my neighbors. Then my parents moved to Porto Bay, and I lived back there. But yeah, I mean, seeing all the different people, Quentin, Bishop, all these people doing things for the community, and it inspires me to make sure that I'm doing my part. I just saw
Quentin got some kind of award with the governor for his beautification.
I mean, he's
crew,
out there. He's got these high school kids, going out and cleaning up. And the problem. So another guy, Todd Eckleberry, he was running. Yeah. And he's said he endorses me. He supports me.
He was actually running against. She was in Ward 4, right?
He was in Ward 4, and he came in third place. And he supports. He's a smart guy. He's got like a degree in engineering, something. But to me, it's like sometimes the city doesn't take these people serious. They come to the meetings, they make comments, and it's kind of like because they're there all the time, they don't take them serious. And in reality, these people bring a lot. They have a lot of knowledge that they can help out with. Quentin, one of his big things is he wants to have a rec center for the children. The other cities have them. We don't.
Yeah.
And D'Iberville is focused a lot on commercial development.
Right.
Yes.
So we got the Scarlet Pearl. You've got, the promenade, all that area out there. And I think D'Iberville is focused so much on commercial development that they've neglected the residential neighborhoods. They've neglected to, take care of drainage issues. They've neglected to resurface roads
and stuff like that.
And to me, like, hey, that's great. I want commercial development, and I will do everything I can to bring in good commercial development for D'Iberville. But at the same time, I want to make sure we're taking care of our residents in the residential areas. And I'll give you a story. Out there campaigning, people complain about speeding, all the time. And look, I am no fan of speed bumps, speed tables, any of that stuff. I think it tears up your car. But the city of D'Iberville has 8 mobile radar units that they can move around the city. Okay. Yeah. And it's a unit that you put out there, you hitch it on a trailer, you put it on the side of the street. It tells you when you're going too fast.
It's they got it like by the dance studio, by the what used to be the high school whenever we were in high school.
Yeah. But that's a permanent one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
They have mobile ones. They got 8 mobile ones. We got 4 wards in D'Iberville, 8 mobile ones.
Right.
Why aren't 2 of them in each ward trying to get people to slow? And not only do they, make you mental note, think about your speed and when it flashes red, but it keeps data. Mm-hmm. And then they can go back and look at that data and say, hey, we probably need a patrol officer here. Yeah. But then that goes to the problem of the police department and that they're underfunded. I mean, y'all had Zach on the show.
Yeah.
I talked to him. He was a police officer for 10 years. And he said they're underfunded. They need 3 more officers, and these guys are working hard and putting their lives on the line, and they need the support from us. And like, we got the casino, we got the promenade, let's use this money to solve these problems. Yeah. And that's what I come to do.
It all starts with your police, fire department. You got to keep the people keeping you safe there for sure.
Yeah, public works. I mean, if you're not paying your public works guys good money, they create the pride in the city because they're the ones out there cleaning up after all of us, and
drains stop working, water stops working, and you got to find somebody to do that.
So, but that's, I'm 100% committed to solving problems that I've seen over the years, and problems that other people tell me about. I think the city of D'Iberville, if you go to their website right now, it was done in 2012, and the business that did it is no longer in business. He's an aide for Roger Wicker, the company that did it.
Yeah,
and
we got a sponsor that might could help him. Jesse Hill might could help him out.
100%. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm talking to some of these people like, hey, can you help the city of D'Iberville? I'm talking to my friends that I know do web design. Hey, look, you might want to get together a bid proposal to try to help the city of D'Iberville. But it's not effective. Like, I went to book the recreation center to have Santa Claus come for the kids, and I had to cancel it afterwards because of COVID.
Yeah.
But whenever I called the rec center to book the center on Kaja, back there behind the elementary school, the lady told me I had to come by there and give her cash or a check.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got to drive to you physically, give you a cash or a check. Like, so D'Iberville we have a beautiful town green. Mm-hmm. Y'all see that building they put out there? Yeah. Now, if you're calling from Missouri and want to come down here and have a wedding and book that
drive down and bring us some cash.
Hey, yeah, I mean, why can't you book that online?
Right. It's not expensive to have that.
No. And I just think, I don't know why these guys haven't done it. And I've brought it up. And whenever I start bringing these things up at the council meetings, I catch, some help from these guys because they think I'm up there trying to cause problems, but I'm not. I'm trying to fix problems, and I'm trying to address them. And, I'm sorry if your feelings are hurt, but we need to do something about this.
Right.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it takes hurting feelings to get that done.
And I mean, it's sad that that's the way that it is, but I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm here to help. And I'm here to use this education, this experience that I have to benefit all of us, you know, and
that's what a good city leader would do. Right. I mean, that's what you're there for.
I mean, that's what I think I would be there for. Yeah.
For the people sometimes feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
For the people.
We got some comments coming in. Lisa Richardson says that when Travis puts his mind to something, he goes after it. If I was in his ward, I'd definitely vote for him to get the things done. And Carrie Toronto Chipley is in the comments. She's everybody's agreeing. Mary Rogers, they all say great points that you're making about all the stuff that you're saying. So,
well, I appreciate it, guys, and I'm glad y'all are on there watching, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to have this platform and get my message out there.
Yeah. That's what Joey and I, that's what we wanted when we started all this, was to highlight. We look at it like the Gulf Coast, where we bounce around D'Iberville, Ocean Springs, Biloxi, Gulfport. I mean, even over in Hancock County every now and then nowadays. And I work in Pascagoula. So we got the whole coastal part of the state covered. So when we heard, that the elections were coming up, we wanted to get as many people in here as we could to have their voice heard.
Yeah. And you bring up like a great point, Jared. Like, you guys are all over the coast.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think I bring a unique perspective to D'Iberville because I wasn't raised or reared in D'Iberville. I was raised and grew up in St. Martin and in Biloxi. I moved to D'Iberville as an adult. It was the first house that I owned. I still live there. I've been there over 20 years, but I think it gives me a unique perspective where, some people who are just from that one area, I'm willing to work with everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not just going to be, I am all for D'Iberville. 100%. I'm all for D'Iberville, but I'm willing to work with Biloxi. I'm willing to work with Gulfport. I think that anything that we do in D'Iberville or anything that anybody else does along the coast to bring people here to improve the communities helps all of us.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win for all of us, man. I mean, I fished growing up in Porto Bay. I used to fish on Riviera Drive, and I'm going to tell you, we caught like 100 trout, speckled trout a night. Gilbert Rubensack, Errol White, and I, we would fish back there and catch 100 speckled trout on glowworms. But I also fished Fountains Pier. Yeah. I also fished underneath the bridge, the D'Iberville Bridge. I threw my cast net out by Galatz.
Yep.
And look, you try to catch mullet and you end up catching mullet and about 100 catfish.
Just lead a net there. I ain't picking them out. I've done that before for sure.
So I grew up, the boat dock down there. I can remember when we all first got boats and we were teenagers and stuff. I can remember running the boat into the dock, coming in. Yeah. So
going to Grasshopper Island.
Yeah.
That's the first place I went on my skill was Grasshopper Island.
So you saying we've touched on it because you've hit some highlights here. So talking to people as you're campaigning, I'm hearing drainage as an issue for probably all of the city of D'Iberville, but specifically Ward 4, speeding as an issue, updating the city's website to be more, 2021 and less 1995, right? And what is there any other topics out there that you're hearing from some of your constituents there in Ward 4?
Yeah, so I mean the parks. I think that city of D'Iberville. So here's a big problem in D'Iberville, and in particular with the schools. So D'Iberville doesn't have its own school board. All right. If you go to Biloxi,
it's Harrison County.
So D'Iberville is part of the Harrison County school boards. So what's happened at the elementary school is that the road needs to be paved. The tennis court's in disarray. When Hurricane Zeta came through in October, the lights were out. Okay.
They can't even see. I coach at North Market, so we play D'Iberville. They can't even play there anymore. The lights got knocked down, power poles got knocked down. The nets are still going. We had a scrimmage game the other day
at the softball field,
at the field behind the elementary field, the baseball field, the big field. Yeah. So they're still out, and we were dealing with some of the same problems at North Market, the Wool Market fields, but they got theirs fixed. So
I brought it up at the council meeting because I got people telling me, asking me about it, and I'm like, okay, I'll talk to them. Yeah. I'll see what they say. And once again, feelings get hurt, and it's like, what do you want us to do? You want us to get arrested by going out there and fixing it or whatever? It's like, no, that's not what I want. But somebody needs to sit down with the Harrison County School Board and figure out what can we do. Like, this ain't about me and you having beef 10 or 20 years ago. This is about our children, right? Right. And so put aside your whatever differences you have, and let's work for the kids, man. Right. I mean,
is that what it is? Is it personal differences amongst people, or is it a financial thing, or both? A little bit of everything, or is it under the radar? Like, you're saying you're telling people about it. It ain't like they don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of all of that. Yeah. I don't think Harrison County is hurting for money.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, if Harrison County is hurting for money, then something is wrong. I mean,
we need to audit them books, huh?
Come on, so I think money is less of the issue. I think it's more of a there's a tribal mentality sometimes, where people. But I don't care who you are. I don't care if we fought in 12th grade.
It's over with.
It's over with. Yeah. I want to work. This is bigger than you, right? This is bigger than us. This is for
the future.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if D'Iberville, we need to have people in there that are going to make the future bright. And Carrie got elected, and I think she's going to do a great job. Yeah. She was vital in bringing the promenade here. And I really think that her on the council, we're about to have a boom, guys.
Right.
D'Iberville is about to have a boom.
Y'all been booming. So if you get another damn boom,
y'all going to be really booming.
It's coming. That Mandel property is about to get developed. It's not going to be the gallery. It's not going to be retail development or anything. But that property is going to get developed here really soon.
Do we know yet what it is, or is it still hypotheticals, or you can't say?
Somebody knows.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody knows.
That's prime real estate.
It's not going to be
sitting there, right?
The way I understand, it's not going to be retail. I mean, that's the big thing. But there's a lot of money coming in for waterfront development too. I mean, there was a newspaper article the other day where you have hundreds of millions of dollars coming into the coast to develop waterfront property for piers and docks and things like that.
That was something Carrie brought up when she was on here. And kind of, I didn't really realize it. Joey and I put on the Sheep's Head Showdown with our buddy David. And we are looking currently, we did it at the Blind Tiger in Biloxi last year because we want a facility where the people participating, if they want, can drive the boats right up to the weigh-in, right? Well, the hurricane took out Blind Tigers Pier, so we're probably not going to be able to use that facility this year just for our needs. Like, Scott's still down. That's a whole other story. Anyway, we didn't even think about D'Iberville when we're sitting here hauling over ideas of where we should have it. Carrie brought that point up. There's really no spots on the water where you have a restaurant or anything like that on the D'Iberville side.
I think that's going to change too. I think Sean Gallot, is going to be putting a restaurant down there. So I don't know if I'm saying things I shouldn't be saying.
We've heard. I mean, we live in the community too. We've heard chatter. I don't know.
My grandma's got a piece of property right next to him. So
so I'm hoping that Sean, put something down there that will encourage people. Kind of like the dock or something like that. Yeah. So that people will come down there, buy a boat. And they can do fishing tournaments, different things like that.
It's such a big resource to not be utilizing, right? The fact that it's waterfront.
It's water is like
you can't really create.
You can't do anything with it. Yeah, it's awesome.
So
I think a lot of people. I think while our fishing tournament, I'm not going to toot our own horns, but people you don't just want to hang out underneath the boat dock all day. You want to be able to go grab something to eat.
Correct.
You want to be able to grab something to
Correct.
drink, listen to
Correct.
music, listen to a band. If you have a fishing tournament underneath the bridge, you're just hanging out underneath the bridge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're like 10 years old.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And it's fun.
Right.
Right. But for
Yeah.
adults, I don't want to sit out there in a chair I had to bring and go get water back from my ice chest in the truck. That ain't cool.
So
You know what I'm
that would be something that would be a big part of your agenda if you
Yeah.
if you get in there is helping in any way to get those projects rolling.
Economic development. Look, I want to see another casino in D'Iberville.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Scarlet Pearl is a nice facility, man. I always like to brag on that place.
it smells so good in there.
It is nice. It's nice. It's a nice deal.
Yeah. So, and that's where I actually had a room there after the election on the 6th. I had gotten a room and we had a bunch of people come out and, hang out for a little while after the election. But yeah, I mean, the city of D'Iberville has so much to offer. And I think another casino, and you got to be able to get with these people that make the decisions. You've got to get in rooms with, the representatives in Jackson, the senators in Jackson. You got to be able to talk to the other mayors across the coast. You got to be able to figure out what they're having the same issues we're having. What are they doing? And stay open-minded to maybe they have a better solution than what we have. I mean, as far as D'Iberville, I think that we're lacking in the technology area and utilizing technology that's out there to make everybody's job easier. So I'm going to work with everybody, and I definitely want to work with the representatives and make sure that we're getting the money that we need flowing in D'Iberville to help with the drainage issues, to help with the resurfacing the roads, looking at grants, going online. I find myself online searching grants all the time, for municipalities just to try to see what's out there. And there's grants out there that we can, get our hands into and help with some of these issues.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think that's what the people, of D'Iberville want to hear for sure. Somebody that's willing to work for them. We've mentioned it on the last couple that we did. What about accessibility? I know that's a huge, Joey's had some, comments to say about that. Like when you want to get in touch with your representative, man, there's nothing more important than actually being able to get in touch with them. So
not just a voicemail.
What's your take on that?
So, I mean, look, everybody is busy. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
And if I'm eating dinner with my family or something like that, I might shoot you the voicemail, but I can promise I'm gonna call you back.
Right.
I'm the way that I operate is I figure if I can get back in touch with somebody within 24 hours, then I think I've done my job. So, but my cell phone number is on everything. If anybody wants to text me or call me, it's 228-238-1934.
There it is.
So
There it is.
I put and I've had that same number for probably 25 years. I don't think many people can say that. You know, I've been in the insurance business for 15 years. I haven't had to change my number.
Right.
I haven't had to run or
Right.
anything.
Right.
Same thing, lawyer. But yeah, I mean, I'm 100%. Text me, call me, shoot me an email. And like I said, if I'm busy doing something, I may not be able to answer the call right then and there.
Right.
But I have a rule with myself that I want to get back to you within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I want to figure something out. And I think that that's fair.
Well, coming from the insurance business, you already know how that goes, because when that's the same situation. If I need to get in touch with my insurance guy, I need to be able to get him on the horn, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been in business this long if
Right.
if you wasn't good at that.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely customer service oriented. And I mean, I worked in the food and beverage industry. Like my first job was working for Bobby Scrimmetta at Pier Seafood Restaurant. I was 14 years old when I first started working. My second job was Hugo's on Division Street.
Yeah,
I
slinging
love
pizzas.
Dude, I love
I was-
Hugo's, man. I love
Yeah.
Hugo's.
In the window, slinging pizzas,
Right.
throwing them up in the air. But look, that place was a 24-hour bar.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that was very interesting to be
Eye-opening
working.
experience.
Yeah, to be working in a bar. So I mean, I've worked, and then I worked in the casinos. I worked from busboy to manager. So I've done everything hospitality wise. I'm huge on that.
Yeah.
And we're the hospitality state, so we should be making people feel welcomed in our community, and it so that they come here and spend their money. Drop some coins.
Carrie wants to know do you accept FaceTime? as a method of getting in touch with you.
Yeah, 100%. Anybody out there wants to FaceTime me, they can.
There you go. That's it. That's straight from the horse's mouth there.
Yeah.
So
Is that what is your main contact? Your main page is Facebook. You have a Facebook page for your.
I have a Facebook page. My personal page, I'm friended out. So I've got 5,000 friends.
Lucky you.
Yeah, you can.
Popular guy.
Yeah. When I got in the insurance business, that was the thing. I was like, look, I'm going to use Facebook to, network. And so if you were a real person, I was accepting you.
Right.
And but I have another Facebook page, Travis R. Burke, Burke. That is the political campaign page. And you can follow that and you get updates on there. So I've got an email, legal@burkelawfirm.net. Anybody's welcome to email me, but I'm 100% accessible to answer your question.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Is there anything that we haven't touched on, as a part of your campaign that you want to mention, or anything specific to Ward 4, that we haven't gone over yet?
Well, I just maybe a couple more things to kind of tell you some of the things that I've done. So I've worked in the community. I was a big part of the Kiwanis Club in Biloxi. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that organization, but it is an organization. Their motto is to change the world one child and one community at a time. I was president of the Biloxi Kiwanis Club. I was lieutenant governor of 8 clubs regionally. Okay. And in order to do that, you have to know like Roger's Rules of Order. Okay. Which is the same thing the council uses to how to talk, how to interrupt, things like that throughout a meeting, how to take the votes, all that stuff. So I was the president and lieutenant governor of these nonprofit organizations where I had to learn all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I come in with the knowledge of, I'm not going to be scared of the boardroom.
Right.
I know how to run it.
Yeah.
And then we did a lot, it was the Biloxi Kiwanis Club, but we did a lot for the community overall. So I don't know if y'all remember, Fred Dunbar, the football player that died.
Ocean Springs.
No, D'Iberville.
Yeah. Well, he passed away on Ocean. They were playing Ocean Springs
field. Yeah. So we, the Kiwanis Club, while I was president of that club, we put out AEDs on all of the fields after that, the local fields, in case that happened again. They had the defibrillators there to try to save a child.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. I've been a member. I'm Knights of Columbus, Sacred Heart. I've done the Tootsie Roll drive for the Knights of Columbus. I mean, I've put in my time, public defender for the city of Biloxi. I taught business law at William Carey. So, I mean, I bring a lot of knowledge. This head, it should be like this big, okay? Because there's a lot of knowledge in here. And man, I'm ready to put it to work for y'all, And just the last thing I would say is, remember to vote April 27th. And there's going to be absentee voting going on. The 2 Saturdays before, you can go to City Hall from 8 a.m. to noon. Your vote counts. It really does. So don't think that, oh, he's got it, or, get out there and vote. So April 27th, I want to, I can not encourage this enough. Get out and vote. Ocean Springs has a runoff. We have a runoff. Come on, people.
Now,
y'all get out there.
The 27th is just the general election. It's not the
27th is the runoff.
Right.
April 27th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the D'Iberville Civic Center. You can come by there. Now, the April 6th, I was cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, and I was handing those out in a brown bag, and we fed the police. We fed the fire station. We fed Gilson's Automotive, which were across the street. Those guys kept coming back.
I got any more hamburgers?
So I don't think I'm going to grill this time. It's going to be, lower, probably less people coming out to vote.
Yeah.
So I probably won't have a big,
to do.
Yeah. We'll have a tent out there. I'll have some beverages and stuff. You can stop by and talk to me. But April 27th, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., come out and vote at the D'Iberville Civic Center.
And let's real quick. You said the 2 Saturdays before you can do absentee voting for that. So that would be, I'm looking at the calendar right here. That would be the 24th, which is a Saturday, and the 17th, which is this Saturday. Is that right?
That's right.
That's this coming up Saturday.
So
and so here's the thing. People, like absentee voting. Well, I don't know if I can. Look, you can. You can
Right.
100% go down there and absentee vote. When you look at the list of the different reasons why you can absentee vote, it's like everything.
Well,
Okay.
you mentioned one already, work, right? Because that's always such a pain for me working in healthcare to be able to get to the dang ballot box because we never know when we're going to be done.
Work is one. Being out of the county. And I always tell people, I'm like, man, I'm in and out of the county like 3 times.
Right.
Jackson County.
We could cross the road
County.
right here and be out of the county.
And one, I kind of one other thing that I wanted to kind of say to you guys is that St. Martin better watch out because I think we're going to try to come over there and annex it.
I think so.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
them jackets.
And I've been researching this. Some people have always been like, well, it's Jackson County and Harrison County. And what folks don't realize is that Hattiesburg is in 2 counties. Jackson, Mississippi is in 2 counties. I mean, there's a lot of cities in Mississippi that actually are in 2 separate counties. And I think St. Martin could benefit from the police protection, the fire protection. Most of St. Martin's already got the water, which is usually a big draw for people. But yeah, I mean, I'm
It is what it is.
Still wearing our yellow jacket apparel.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
still
we're
wearing
the Warriors.
it. Like, I'm both ways.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
teaching
I mean,
D'Iberville High
you said
School.
it, but,
I'm
anyway.
teaching
Look,
D'Iberville High School.
I've got a D'Iberville hat, okay, and it's got the D on it, but it's not. Most people from D'Iberville.
Is it a big D or a little D?
It's a
Hey,
what is it? What is it?
it's
I'm
a
just
family
saying.
show. It's a big D.
Yeah, but most old school D'Ibervilles go with the little D, and that is you think that doesn't mean
It's
dude, it is a
huge.
war at D'Iberville High School. If you put a big D on a hat, they ain't wearing it.
are you
Huge.
serious?
It's a little D.
100%.
I don't know that I've seen
Yes.
the one I'm thinking of. Almost looks like the Detroit Tigers, right? Like that.
Yeah,
D.
that's the uppercase D. But
Yeah.
when the old school real D'Iberville, they
Yeah.
little D. Little
Yeah.
D. If you don't have little D on, they ain't wearing it.
Okay.
So what I
learned
tend
all
to do-
kind of D'Iberville
Yeah.
facts today.
What I tend to do is on my, my push cards, things like that. I'll spell it one way with the big D,
Yeah.
one way with the little
Oh,
D.
yeah,
You
now-
try to cover both.
So now
bases.
I'm realizing that when people write D'Iberville out, a lot of times they do. I use the big D on
Right.
the for the show notes here, but I have seen it with the lowercase.
Lowercase
Yeah,
D.
okay, I
That's
got
a
it.
big thing.
But
I
I
got
have this hat, and the hat, most of the people in D'Iberville, they use the cursive. D,
Right.
Okay. But mine is like the St. Martin, how the St. Martin letters are.
Yeah.
Just the basic, and people get on to me like, I'm going to get you a real D'Iberville hat. And like
Yeah,
internally, I'm like, it's kind of like a symbol to me to where, I'm from St. Martin, but I
Right.
live in D'Iberville.
Right.
But I still, I still have, St. Martin in me.
Well,
Right.
we had Carrie dropped a one coast comment earlier too, so that's a thing. It's like
Yeah.
everybody's from the coast, man. So whether you're from Harrison County, Jackson County, City of D'Iberville, St. Martin, whatever, it's all one coast.
Yeah. Work together, make it better.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate this opportunity, guys. It has
Absolutely,
been
man.
a blast, and it's Sunday, so I want to say God bless D'Iberville and God bless the coast.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go,
it.
man. Thanks for taking your time to come over here and talk with us. We appreciate it. And like you've been telling everybody, man, April 27th, it's a Tuesday. Get out and vote. If
Rock
you live
the
in the
vote.
city of D'Iberville, specifically Ward 4, we're talking today, but the whole city. Let your voice be heard, man. Municipal elections are very important. They affect your daily life more than anything else.
That's
So go do that. Do the absentee ballot the 2 Saturdays before. If you got a work issue, don't even bother with the headache. Go do it when it's convenient for you. So thanks everybody for tuning in and listening on the replay here and on the audio podcast as well. We appreciate y'all, and we will see you on